There are no concessions during the movie. They're not even going to open it up. Do not bother bringing food or drinks. You may not take your mask off in the movie. If you need to scratch your nose or you need to take a sip of water, you need to get up, exit the theater, do that, and then come back.
Guys, seriously, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, got some today, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Freedom fighter named Libs of TikTok. Love their stuff. I'm a fan. They've got a lady who is taking the most amount of precautions you could possibly take, being brave, leaving her house for the first time in 3 years to go see the Barbie movie. We're going to hear the ridiculousness that is her precautions, control dramas. And then we're going to take a look at a special place on Reddit where it's all about zero COVID. People here 3.5 years after the launch of this great movement, Corvid, where these people are thoroughly committed, even to this day, taking zero chances. It's a little bit hilarious. Inmates running the asylum, it's way more entertaining than the people who should be running it. YouTube censors, I want you to know, I haven't left my house for 5 years. I saw this coming. I haven't left. I haven't seen the sun. I haven't eaten food. I'm taking zero chances. I haven't seen people either. So let's take a look. Here you can see Libs of TikTok. Here's the video. And this lady, lovely lady from Portland, Oregon, shocker, she recorded this end of July. So it's very recent. Unbelievable. Let's take a look.
I don't remember the last time I went to see a movie because I don't love going to the movie theater. But I'll tell you what, it pisses me off that I can't go see Barbie.
Well, victim, you can. You literally can. Nobody's stopping you other than your own limiting beliefs.
I want to go see it, even if it is white feminism. I want to be able to...
Even if it is white feminism, it's great. She definitely looks like a white feminist herself.
So I'm doing a thing. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest, you can do a thing with me. Here's what it is. Next week, which is July 31st, August 1st, someday next week on a weekday, I am renting out a theater in Northwest Portland.
Wow, so she can see a movie without other humans present that she doesn't have control over. That's a good strategy. That's a replicable strategy. I should rent out a grocery store next time I want to go shopping. It is dangerous and, dare I say, reckless not to. Just mingle with other people where you risk human connection. What the? I would only do that if God gave us like some kind of natural defense against pathogens, like kind of like immunity, kind of like you could call it like an immune system. If I had that, I would do that. But based on my biological degree, I don't think any of us have such a thing. But you know, we can do our best to get best case scenario from Pfizer and like criminal organizations.
The entire theater, the whole theater. The theater seats 46 people, I think. We're only going to do 20 tickets. So
cool. Run out the whole theater. We got social distancing in action. Less than half capacity. I love it.
So me and 19 other people. That's it. In addition to that, there will be one employee. So the entire building, the entire cinema is going to be one employee plus 20 attendees. That's it.
Great.
We are the only people in the building.
Wait, you're going to go in a building with 20 other people who aren't wearing masks?
And every single person, including that employee, is going to be wearing an N95 the entire time.
Okay, I thought she was like kind of like a suicide bomber here with going in there. She's wearing a mask. Dictating everybody else wear a mask. We all love to be dictators, don't we? By the way, if your politicians you trust are dictators, kind of funny how you start to act like a dictator.
The employee's going to put it on before they enter the building.
Before they enter the building. Presumably, the employee gets there before everybody else, but the employee, while they're in the building by themselves, they have to wear it so they don't catch anything from themselves. But they actually will catch everything from themselves as they're breathing their own dirty air the whole time.
They've been chosen specifically for this purpose. They seem to get it.
They get it.
If you show up because you bought a ticket, I need to see a KN94 well-fitted or a 95 well-fitted or a P100. And if I see a baggy mask, I'm going to tell you to take it off and put on one that I hand you. I'm holding.
That's very controlling, and I love it. I'm a little offended. So far, she hasn't said she's going to be demanding proof of you know what. So She actually does seem reckless.
Holding onto a bunch of masks, choose the one you like best. There are no concessions during the movie. They're not even going to open it up. Do not bother bringing food or drinks. You may not take your mask off in the movie.
You can't, good. No concessions. Can't bring your own food or drinks. We're going to do dehydration and starvation because it would be too risky to do something that sustains your life. That's the best thing we can do to protect your life, which is not do anything that will actually sustain your life. Too risky. Makes
If you need
sense.
to scratch your
Science.
nose or you need to take a sip of water, you need to get up, exit the theater, do that, and then come back.
I love the hand gestures. Like, one thing to dictate with her words, but we now have her made up sign language. You get up, get the F out, and then go 12 miles away. And then once you're 12 miles away, you take a bus, another 36 miles. You can take your single sip of water with your mask off, but you have to go out in the field naked, then burn those clothes, put on new clothes, new mask too. That's probably contaminated from you because you were in a field by yourself. Then you can take a train back, go through a cleansing process, stop at the local CVS, get all your boosters. Cool, I know you're already boosted. You got to get them all again. Then you come back in. Now, that's only going to take 7 hours. You get back, and the movie will be over, but then you get back, and I'll have a sense of control over you. So I'll just appreciate you for being obedient.
They're going to be medically fragile people there. This is their first
I personally think we're all medically fragile. To suggest otherwise would be very uninclusive.
opportunity in like 3.5 years, so we are not around here, folks.
Whoa.
No kids that can't wear a mask solidly for 2 hours. Like, I'm not going to do little kids.
I'm not going to do little kids. I'm glad she said that. That was a little bit creepy, and glad she's not gonna. But it's weird how this lady seems like she's just not kid-friendly in many ways. I wonder if she's like kind of abort them. If you have kids, you can abort them. 5 years old, that's full. You got to abort your kids before you come.
I don't blame them, but it is what it is. This is going to be a morning showing. We are the first.
Great. It's going to be a morning showing because we remember the science. Remember how the grocery stores would all close at like 6 p.m. because we know what this disease does come nightfall. So we're going to do a morning showing.
People in the building, so we will be in and out well before any other employees or other people show up for the showings.
Great science.
The building will have had a chance to clear the air from the night before.
The building will have a chance to clear the air. The building does that. The building will cleanse itself because that's what buildings do.
And also, they upgraded their filtration over the past 3 years, and they just had an inspection June 26th, their quarterly inspection, and changed out all of their MERV filters.
Great. They had an inspection.
So they're in a pretty good spot. It's going to be $20 to $25 a person.
It's very precise, like just 20 to 25. Like, cool. We were just literally making all this up as we go. It was certainly the price. It's going to be $20, $25, $75. It's going to be something. This is how exact of a scientific mind we're talking about.
All I'm doing is covering the cost. That's it. So I will refund any overages. It is a
That's socialist right there. I'm allergic to profit. So I promise you, I'm not going to make money. If I accidentally do make money, I will refund this. Everybody is an equal loser here.
risk. I don't know how else to put that. It is definitely a risk to be in a building for 2 hours.
Huge risk. I mean, I think being in a building for 2 hours with, for God's sakes, 20 other people who are very well masked up, they're starving, they're dehydrating. I would say that's as risky as skydiving without a parachute. Right on par. I don't appreciate this lady trying to get other people to be as reckless as she is.
Makes me anxious. But I feel like it's a measured risk and one I'm willing to take. And if there are more cautions that we could take, definitely let me know. But if you...
I wish I had time to let her know some more cautions she could be taking. I would love to see if she'd take my advice.
want to go, hit the comments, let me know, and I'll be in touch. I'll get in touch with you over DM, and we will make it work. I'm excited, I think, for Barbie. Did not expect to be saying that.
She's excited, but she's actually anxious because that's what she said. Okay, now you might be thinking, well, there's not that many people who are that extreme, that bound by fear and letting fear govern their lives so much that they're so disconnected from humans, and anytime they risk any level of human connection, which is barely any, they dictate ultra control over the people they are around. She's the only one. Spoiler alert, she's not. If you take a look at this Reddit community, it's called Zero Corvid Community. And at the top, it says, okay, what is meant by Zero COVID. Newcomers read this. Well, I'm a newcomer and I'm all about this movement, so let's take a look. COVID is not over because long COVID has no cure. We're all in this together forever. So it rattles on some made up science. Long COVID, some people improve, but most never completely recover. I mean, again, it is a severe pandemic. Scientific research into it is only just starting. What do you mean just starting? We've been trusting the science for 3.5 years. And will be many years before it produces results. We have been altering our lives based on the science, and you're saying the science is just starting? If I didn't know any better, I'd say these people are contradicting themselves. The only thing left then is to not get COVID in the first place. Or if you've already had it, to not get it again. As we know, the damage to the body accumulates with repeat infections. Not getting it again also gives you the best chance of recovery if you already have long COVID. So not getting it again, basically devil's advocate to that scientific thing we just read. Not getting it again means you're not building up any further natural immunity. So let's say if you somehow avoid it for 20 years, then year 21 you get it, there's a lot of normal mutation that an abnormal virus does. And you've made sure your immune system has had no adaptation. So the only thing left is to not get it in the first place. I think with viruses, it's kind of been proven you can't avoid it. Like you can minimize your frequency of exposure to it, but the idea that it will ever be eradicated off planet Earth is fairly scientifically debunked. This next line is the best science. Death from COVID is still a problem. It is the leading cause of death. Not heart disease, not cancer, not like any of what the CDCs, the organization these people worship, which I don't trust, but the CDC themselves, heart disease, cancer, leading causes of death. But for the purposes of this article, the new science is, Fauci's favorite virus is still the leading killer. The 5 pillars of prevention are clean air, masks, testing, physical distancing, and vaccination. We also must redouble our efforts into research, for example, better ways of cleaning air, better vaccines, and better tests. Now, this is just, I thought the vaccine was just super, like, you definitely got to get it because it's super effective, and they're suggesting, yes, it's a pillar of prevention, yet we actually need a lot more research to have better ones. Cool. They're like, don't acknowledge any self-contradictions. Don't acknowledge any holes in your philosophy. We don't want to do that. So then the crescendo of what this community is all about. We choose health over disease. Ultimately, we aim to suppress transmission and eventually reach elimination so that becomes rare in society. We strive to eventually reach elimination. Cool. Now, let's take a look at some of the comments in this community. This user is posting this very traumatic post. They just got a new job and they just found out it's only 3 days a week for 2 to 3 hours, which makes me feel a little better, but not really. I'm really struggling with everything right now. I've tried so hard to keep myself from getting reinfected since I still have mild, long COVID. So this person is in a state of anxiety and hopelessness because they just got a job that will require them to be at their job 3 days a week, 2 to 3 hours a day. So that's between 6 and 9 hours that this person has developed anxiety and hopelessness over because they're not going to be isolated by themselves. So you just have to imagine how much fear is this person living in, choosing not love, but choosing fear to dictate their consciousness. This post, is this surge a new low morale point for anyone else? So I guess the surge that we're currently in that I didn't know about. I struggled last year with knowing tons of people living normally. Wow, you struggled knowing that people were living normally? Wow. And not getting it, which made me feel insane. Okay, let's think about that. You struggled last year knowing tons of people were living normally without getting it. And that made you feel insane? Okay. Hey, here's another interesting one. Again, this is just a portrait of how some people are still thinking. One-way mask time limits. I was speaking with someone about how I gauge how long I remain in a setting where I'm the only one wearing a mask. Wonder why you're the only one wearing. They had not heard of this. They hadn't heard of one-way mask time limits. They had not heard of this despite being well-informed and a healthcare professional. Now we could almost just stop and think about that. This person hadn't heard and presumably doesn't give a crap about one-way mask time limits. Yet by this poster's own admission, this person was well-informed and a healthcare professional. That might make you think they know something that you don't. They might know that one-way mask time limits are not necessary. Roommate just got a teaching job and doesn't mask. Dear Lord, I don't have control over my roommate. That doesn't make me feel like a successful dictator. I'm 25 and still conscious. My roommate, M22, so male 22. Okay, so this is a man saying this. That's interesting. My roommate isn't conscious. We both had the disease. I'm still censoring. I don't know what YouTube does with this. We both had it about a year ago, and he brought it home from work and gave it to me. He was fine after 4 days, and I ended up in bed for 2 weeks, sicker than I'd never been. It's been almost a year since I was sick and still have mild symptoms. He stopped masking a while ago, and I still mask everywhere I go. So this person is stressed out that this super spreader human roommate of theirs just got a teaching job, gonna be around other people, isn't still into masking, so is presumably going to come home and commit homicide on this person with a disease. And here you see another post about the summer surge, questions about rapid tests. Oh, the test where the inventor of the test said they don't actually detect what you're trying to detect with them. Cool. Just got it for the first time. Don't let up on being safe. Well, if you just got it and you're in this community, chances are that your tactics in this community don't work by the results you just got. So with that said, my friend, so we take a little journey through this community as we did and looked at the video just to show and kind of wake up to the reality that I had been oblivious to. There are still some people living in a very severe self-induced state of fear. And they're using rationalizations about a virus to justify their desire to live in a state of fear. Anyone who wants to live in a state of fear, what they really want is to have ultra control over everything. When you're afraid, you want to control. When you're wanting more control, you get more afraid to motivate you to control more. Control is the opposite of love. Control is the opposite of freedom. So if you don't like freedom, live in a state of fear, go for control. But if you like freedom, live in a state of love and be free. It's a beautiful thing. But of course, the choice is yours. And it's very interesting, very enlightening to learn this is what some people are choosing for themselves. As we consider all this, my beautiful friends, I think the real consideration is to know what we're choosing. Are we choosing to live in a state of fear or a state of love? And if we are choosing to live in a state of love, acceptance, freedom, how can we even up-level that? Because I would dare say freedom is what makes life worth living, rather than trying to suppress our own free will, live in a state of fear. What does that do to our quality of life? So I think we can all make better choices and up level away. I mean, we're all going to have fear. We're humans, but do you let fear sit in the driver's seat, the car of your life, or do you let love? And how can you let more love in? That's the question, that's the consideration that I think we all deserve to contemplate for ourselves. So thank you for watching, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. But before you go, I want to tell you about something I love. Have you ever considered that the foundation of your freedom is good health? Well, health equals freedom is at the core of my beliefs, and using CBD is one of the #1 things I do to look after my health. But high quality, premium grade, clean, pure, organic CBD can be hard to come by. That's why I started Awaken CBD. After experiencing the benefits of CBD on my health for a number of years, I wanted to form a CBD brand that people can trust. That's why we only use organically grown, premium grade CBD, so you can trust it. We've got the CBD products to meet your needs, like the CBD oil tincture, full spectrum gummies, sleep gummies, relief roll-on gel, and some others that I think you'll love. If you'd like to bring the benefits of CBD into your life with a brand you can trust, I'd be honored if you gave Awaken CBD a shot. To learn more about how you can become a part of the Awaken CBD family, just go to healthisfreedom.co. Please enjoy whatever it is you choose to do to take care of your health, because your freedom depends on it.